Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Saturday, the 8th of November. So, what are we going to talk about today? I thought we'd talk about how it's so much easier when we can work together and share our knowledge than it is to try to go alone. Are there some times that we go alone? Yeah, but that's a personal choice. Hang tight. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekend. This is where I go off the rail and talk about whatever I think is prudent. Not really prudent. Why is it that us stubborn girls, why us stubborn old men are unwilling to ask for help? And I say that, and I'm in that group because I hate bothering anybody. I just assume, I tell Claude when it comes to the firewood, cutting wood, and hauling wood, stacking wood, if I can be left alone to my own devices and I can do my own pace where nobody's rushing me, I do fine. But if you put me up with some young people, what ends up happening is I try to stay up with them, and I can't. I can't do it anymore. The old body just says, "Oh, whoa, we ain't doing this." And like yesterday, I went ahead and I got another load of wood all on the trailer, ready to head down to the shop. I'm getting a lot done, but the real answer to today's video is it'd be a lot easier if I had help. And like yesterday, I was up working in the cow lean-to that part of the roof fell in on us last winter. So I've taken all the metal off from where it caved in. It's all now just 2x6s. And yesterday I went up there with a skid steer and I hand moved all the roofing, stacked that so we could reuse that somewhere else, put some boards on top so the wind can't catch it. And I started getting the area cleaned up and where we're going to put supportive posts back in where the cows took them out. Now, what I found yesterday doing that was it took me about an hour to move 8 pieces of roofing that's roughly around 20 foot long. And why is that? It's because my calves and my legs, since the surgery, haven't been too good. Actually, they haven't been that great in a long time. So I can do a couple of the sheets of metal and then I have to sit down. And it bugs me because, 10, 15 years ago, I would have knocked all eight of them out and just nothing flat. The new me, not so fast. And even getting in the skid steer that used to be easy to operate and stuff, the bucket control is all on your feet, right? And just Claude, he takes, which drives me nuts, is he takes and throws a block of 4x4 because he's short-legged. And so when you get into it, you feel like, how you get into a vehicle as somebody that's short where your knees are right into the steering wheel? That's how I feel. So I had to push the seat ahead, take his block out so I could push the seat far enough back to where it wasn't as bad. But I still found that my calves, just by operating that, I had Charlie horses last night from it. He and my son can go all day long and not have any problems. What's the better way to do things? Would have had him show up with a skid steer and do what I wanted to get done while I was doing the other stuff. But the thing is the way I look at it is I'm here and I want to be able to do things, and it's not that I'm not unwilling to ask. It's I'm trying to prove to myself that I still have what it takes to do these jobs. And so far this year, I've cut 95, 98% of the firewood. And we've got somewhere around 30 cord in so far. And I've got another load. That's another cord and a half. And then I've got a couple trees that are on the ground that need to be blocked up. There will be another trailer load. So there's another cord and a half. And then I want to start turning directions. Yesterday, well, let me back it up. Day before yesterday, my cows got out. And it wasn't so much the cows, it was the young stock. And the cows come right back in. But the young stock didn't follow them. They were splintered. And I told Claude, I said, the worst thing we can do is try to chase them around, try to get them to go through the gate. Because in my line of logic, you don't chase cows. That's why I've got a red bucket with grain. They get that daily. So they know what's in that red bucket. So if they're out, people ask me, why do you feed your beef cows grain? Because of that reason. It's not if they get out, it's when they get out. So I got my bucket. So I get a call night before last from my neighbor, which is about a mile down the road. And it's 6 o'clock and he's saying, your cows are all over my yard. And they're making holes and they're shitting. And I'm like, I'm really so sorry about that, but there's nothing I can do about it tonight. It's dark. What he didn't know was I knew that those young stock would take off if they didn't have parental guidance to keep them in check. I'm telling you right now. So I left 2 gates open on purpose so that the mama cows could find their last year's yearlings and bring them back. And that they did. By morning, they had brought most of them back into the pen, but then they started leaving the pen again. And I grabbed 3 pails of grain. They were in the back meadow. All I had to do was just show them the bucket. And they chased me up the hill, which is about 400 yards, and then into the pasture. And I got far enough into the pasture so that I wanted the young stock to follow their parents. And that they did. Every one of them come through. So I got everybody back in. And Claude and I spent all day yesterday working on fence. I had to go buy a new fencer because one bit the dust. I still have one out, and she's got a calf. And I told Claude, I'm going to leave her for a couple of days because that calf needs to get its legs, and I don't want us to push them off. I want her to try to regroup with the others, and when I see her along the fence line, that's when I'll try to get her to come back in. With 2 of us doing it yesterday, it was a lot easier than just one. And even fixing fence, I can only walk just so far wearing my work boots, and especially in mud and everything else. So I was going every other post, parking them side by side, and then tightening the wires, restringing them where deer had knocked them down, snapped off plastic pieces and what have. Because now the cows have eaten pretty much all they can have in the pasture because the cold weather is not growing. And I'm trying to transition them over to hay. And they're still pretty finicky on the hay, but they're not hungry either. So we spent, like I say, all morning at that and got everything where all the fences were on. I have 2 electric fences for 2 pieces of property. Once that was done, it was around 11:30, and I told them, go ahead and go do your banking and stuff, and I'm going to go do some other stuff. So I went up with the 2640 and the trailer, the wood wagon, and loaded that all up. And then it was only like 20 after 1 when I was done with that. So I said, well, I'll go up and do some work up in the building. So I worked at that till around 2, and then I see all the cows walking over towards the gate that I brought them in with yesterday morning. So I took the wood trailer up, hopped on the 2240, got a bale of hay, it was a big round bale, and I went into the pasture with it. Well, they come running from the gate to me because fresh food. They're looking for silage bales. I know what they're looking for. So I put that in there for them last night. what's the roundabout thing? If I hadn't had Claude for help to try to fix that fence, I'd still be at it. And I'd be frustrated, and the cows would probably still be out again because I didn't get it all done. That's where it's handy to have a couple people doing it. And he was talking because when we're trying to hand signal, because he doesn't understand my hand signals, like this, and that we should get a couple walkie-talkies. I'm like, Claude, you have an Apple iPhone. The only thing he knows how to do with that iPhone is to call somebody and to receive a call. That's it. No texting, no looking at Facebook, no nothing. It's simply, and I told him, I said, it's a sin to have something like that and only use it for that. Because if he had his way, he'd still be back with the old flip phone that used to be his favorite. So I told him, I said, we already have a set of walkie-talkies. If that's what you're talking, they got a 5-mile radius. All they got to do is put batteries in them. So I put batteries in those. So when we get ready to go see if we can't find the mama cow with her calf, we'll each carry a radio with us so that we can communicate back and forth to see what one is doing and the other isn't, if that makes any sense. The end result is things are a lot easier if you have people that are willing to help you do it. Some things in life you're going to have to do alone, and that's okay. But the bulk of it, if you're still doing it alone, it's by choice, and it's not because you asked somebody and they turned you down. It's you just refuse to ask. And that, again, is one of my biggest downfalls, and I would assume probably one of your biggest downfalls. I'm learning to ask for help since my surgery. And one of the things that I couldn't wait, this was my big goal, was to become self-sufficient so that I didn't have everybody else worrying about me. And they still worry. They still think I'm doing too much. But as I tell my kids, I don't know if I've got 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 years, or 50. I am not going to waste it. I'm going to do what I want to do. And if you leave me to my own devices, I can get things accomplished just a little slower. On that note, you guys have a great Saturday, and I'll see what comes up for tomorrow for the Sunday sermon. Put in the comments, how you approach things. Do you ask for help when you need it, or do you just suck it up, buttercup, and do it yourself? Because I can tell you from past history, it's so much easier if you have somebody there to kind of help you. Sometimes too many, where they say, chiefs in the kitchen spoils the stew. But if you can get the right amount and people that want to work and help you, and you got to be reciprocal too. So that means if somebody is helping you when they need help, that's a great time to return the favor. It's a give and take. You guys have a great Saturday.